All right, I am live here with you guys. Happy Thursday. It's 1 o'clock on the East Coast. I'm coming to you live from this kind of gloomy and overcast day in Connecticut, where I'm coming to you from my office/bedroom due to the pandemic. How are you guys? How are you out there? Feeling good today. We're going to talk about why, and we'll talk about how I got there. And if you're watching, please give me a thumbs up and let me know you can hear me and you're out there. I'd love to hear from you. So who am I? Who's talking? My name is Rachel. I'm the grounded therapist and grounded coach, and I'm coming to you from my grounded coaching page. And I work with women who are trying to recover from perfectionism and anxiety, because it has got a hold on us, even during a pandemic. Women are committed to doing better, being perfect, and I can't stand it. I want it to be done. So that's who I work with. And how do I do that? Through thought work, through mindfulness, and through body movement, which really comes down to yoga movements, yoga shapes that are accessible to everybody. So those are the three components of the work that I do. For Facebook, a little higher. There we go. And so those three components can really help break down anxiety, which is what we're going to talk about today. But first, let's settle in. I get excited to be live here and getting back into the groove of doing lives every week. So I get all excited. So let's just settle in for a second. Let's take 3 breaths, and we're going to count 3 inhales and exhales to settle us in. You can place your hand on your chest. I don't think you can see me on Facebook, sorry. Or you can feel your collarbone, right? It's on both sides. Mine's right here. Just noticing it, and as you breathe, we'll count 3 inhales, 3 ins and 3 outs. 3 inhales and exhales. So, that's 1. You can breathe out through your mouth, through your nose. I don't have a preference. It's what works for your body today. That's 2. 1 more to settle in here. 3. Oh, I feel good. I feel better, actually. So I hope you've been able to shake off the day, or maybe embrace the day. It's the day after the inauguration. I know a lot of people are feeling wonderful. I bet a lot of people are upset as well, but that's what we do in a democracy. We have to be okay. We carry on. We hope for progress and great change. Now that we're settled in, and we could focus on today's topic. Talking about anxiety, talking about worry, perfectionism, fear. I wrote a list of all the ways I've seen it show up, right? So fear, trouble falling asleep, trouble staying asleep, excessive prepping, planning, and predicting, right? Just like lots and lots of planning and predicting and what ifs, right? And 6 plans and carrying a huge bag, right? Of like preparations, right? That's anxiety. Black and white thinking, right? Well, I have to do all of this or it's not going to work out. I will do none of this because I want it to work out. You might be a little shaky. You might feel like butterflies in your stomach or jittery nerves, right? You might twitch or tap your toe. It doesn't necessarily mean it's anxiety. It could also be self-soothing. But these are the ways that I see it come up for my clients. What about you guys? How do you see anxiety showing up? I think I got a good spectrum, but there are probably a ton more ways that anxiety shows up. Avoidance, that's another one, right? Avoiding, procrastinating, finding the right time to do something. That's the perfection, perseveration, and procrastination cycle, right? Just avoidance, avoidance, avoidance. So that might be a way that it shows up for you. But feel free to leave me a comment, send me a DM if you see your anxiety showing up, your worry showing up in a different way that I have it listed today. So how do you deal with that? Well, you could do a breathing technique like what we just did at the beginning of my live here. You can count your breath up to 10. I actually listed, if you go back in my Instagram feed, or if you look on my YouTube channel for Grounded Coaching, you will find a list of anxiety tools that I offer for free. So check those out. But let's think about writing out our thoughts, because a lot of times we try to pretend like it's not happening, right? We try to imagine, like, if I don't write it out, if I don't say it out loud, no one will know that that's what's going on inside my head. Write out your bananas, irrational, illogical, wacky thoughts. Write them down. So we start to air them and honor them and look at them. A lot of times we can just laugh. I laugh with my clients all the time because our irrational thoughts are hilarious. The stuff that we worry about, once we finally shine some light on it, is truly the funniest stuff. Like, you can write sitcoms on this stuff. And actually, there's probably a ton of good examples in sitcoms. But we worry about things that are so ridiculous. I'm calling out my husband, but the other night he thought he heard someone in our house turning off the alarm, right? And I said, how would they get in the house if the alarm was on and then turn it off? And he laughed, and he knew that no one had broken into our house, especially because the alarm was on. But we realized it was the chime of my Facebook Messenger that was coming through my iPad, right? But it's the same sound that our alarm makes when it's going on or off. And we just laughed and laughed because of how ridiculous that was, right? Sometimes when you are able to just like bring light and own your ridiculous thoughts, it just brings so much levity and lightness to them. And it also helps you let go of resistance. Resistance is huge, right? It's like, for me, it's this resistance, or like it's a push and pull, a tug of war. And when you resist feeling your worry, or, oh, like, I'm not gonna pay attention to those thoughts, I don't have room for them, and I know they're ridiculous. When you do that, they grow in strength and power. They don't like go away and say like, oh, Rachel's not thinking about her anxious thoughts today, we'll just stop. No, they only grow in power. So if you write them down and then you feel them, and right, you see that, no one has broken in, and you're worried someone's broken into your house, but your alarm didn't go off, but they came in, broke into your house, and then turned off the alarm, and you laugh a little bit, and then you feel the silliness and the worry, right? Like, that was a worried thought. It can pass over you and move through you really quickly. And then the third thing is checking the evidence. What evidence do I have that someone broke in and then turned the alarm off? Like, who would do that? Why wouldn't the alarm go off first? Right? Or, we had a lot of worries this week about the impeachment, right? There was some evidence. Things went okay. I'm sorry, the inauguration, not the impeachment. Got a lot of I words on my mind politically. But we can have some rational fears, right? Worrying that someone's going to break into your home. That's not irrational. That's a thing. So, like, we have an alarm. Great. Why is there more to worry about, right? So if there's threats on Capitol buildings, like, we hope the government's going to follow through, that's fine, right? But we don't need to excessively worry. There's got to be balance. We can question the evidence. If you're feeling like full of doubt, or that you've done something wrong, question that thought. What's the evidence that you really did mess up? What's the evidence that you made a mistake, or you're a bad person? All those lies we tell ourselves. Just explore it. So the 3 things I want to leave you with today are: write out your ridiculous, hilarious, completely illogical, irrational thoughts. So, like, 1B would be laugh at it hysterically because it makes you feel better. It does. But also, really just writing it out helps you see what's going on in your head. And then it manages to decrease the resistance, right? You're not going to be fighting yourself if you allow the worry to flow through you. If you allow the worry to happen, you feel it, it actually will pass over you. Like, think about a wave, right? That intensity goes up. But waves cannot inherently sustain themselves. They fall over, crash up on the shore, and then dissipate and disappear. Your anxiety is the same. It can't sustain itself because it's based on nothing. It's not real. So allow it to be felt, and then move on, move forward, do something else. And then question the evidence, right? What's the evidence that this is real? What's the evidence that this is going to be true? So those are my 3 tips for you today, with plus the extra laughing at it. And what you get from doing this, right? It might sound like a lot of work to you. I love it. So it doesn't sound like work to me. But if it sounds like work to you, you're only going to leave yourself stuck in that loop of fear and sleep deprivation and not leaving your house or excessive washing of your hands, whatever it is, checking the alarm 10 times, locking your door multiple times. You're going to be stuck in there if you don't do this. But what you have to gain is hours and hours of sleep uninterrupted, practicing journaling and getting more familiar with your own sensations and feelings, having more energy, and being able to crush your goals, get those goals done. So you have nothing to do but gain by doing a little bit of work. Okay, so your anxiety is bullshit. Sorry, I'm using curse words, right? You have nothing to gain but calm, focus, energy, goal crushing, sleep filled nights. So it seems like a really easy choice to me. And if this sounds like you and you want to get to work with that with me one-on-one, send me an email, thegroundedtherapist@gmail.com, or send me a DM through Grounded Coach on Instagram. And I can't wait to see you next Thursday. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.